You've been lied to your entire life about watermelons. Every joke you've heard, every stereotype you've seen, every racist comment that's been made, it's all been designed to hide one of the most powerful stories in Black history. The truth is, watermelons didn't make Black people a punchline. They helped our ancestors obtain freedom and built the lives of thousands of Black Americans. But white America has spent over a century making sure you never knew that. Long before emancipation, our ancestors were already building wealth in ways that would shock you today. Imagine enslaved communities across the antebellum South. While plantation owners controlled almost every aspect of Black lives, they made one crucial mistake. They allowed enslaved people to cultivate small patches of land for themselves, and watermelons thrived in these spaces. What seemed like a small concession became something much more powerful. Watermelons required minimal care, but produced maximum profit. A single fruit contained hundreds of seeds for future crops, and the sweet flesh attracted eager buyers in local markets. In 1847, Northerner Adam Foster documented this hidden economy in a letter to his daughter. He observed enslaved people maintaining gardens, raising poultry, fishing rivers, and selling goods that commanded premium prices. What Foster was witnessing was what historians now call the slave economy, an intricate network of commerce operating within the brutal system of bondage. The most successful practitioners accumulated serious wealth. Moses, enslaved in Russell County, built what he termed his continental traffic in watermelons and other produce. When authorities finally discovered his operations, Moses possessed approximately $1,000, extraordinary wealth that exceeded most white families of that era. Enslaved families used watermelons strategically. They consumed what they needed, traded surplus with neighboring families, and sold the remainder to free Black merchants. These merchants connected to white business owners willing to purchase quality goods. Every transaction represented a small victory against a system designed to deny Black people economic agency. Before we explore how this hidden success exploded into open prosperity after the Civil War, if you believe these suppressed histories deserve wider recognition, please subscribe to Black Stories Untold and help us amplify truths they've tried to silence. Now, back to the video. The underground economy laid crucial groundwork. When freedom arrived, our ancestors didn't start from nothing. They expanded existing expertise into legitimate enterprises. Freedom transformed everything. Suddenly, the watermelon knowledge that enslaved people had developed in secret became the foundation for public business empires. Consider Gordonsville, Virginia, where the railroad created unexpected opportunities. This junction town connected two major train lines, but passengers faced a serious problem. Trains lacked dining accommodations during long journeys. Recently freed Black women recognized the market gap immediately. Before dawn, they worked in their kitchens, frying chicken in cast-iron pans, kneading fresh dough, and carefully selecting the ripest watermelons. They loaded everything into woven baskets, balancing enormous loads on their heads with remarkable skill as they walked to the train platforms. When locomotives arrived with billowing steam and screeching brakes, aromatic clouds of fried chicken and sweet watermelon drew hungry passengers to windows, coins ready in hand, eager to purchase whatever delicious offerings awaited below. These entrepreneurs offered complete meals featuring fried chicken, fresh bread, seasonal pies, and perfectly ripe watermelons that provided refreshing relief during hot summer travels. The quality and consistency of their offerings earned such renown that travelers began specifically choosing routes through Gordonsville. Similar enterprises flourished across the South. Charleston's markets featured prominent Black watermelon vendors. Government official Carl Schurz, touring recently liberated territories, discovered formerly enslaved people throughout multiple states earning independent livings through the raising and sale of vegetables, watermelons, and other crops. In Alabama, the Black community of Talladega County organized their own Independence Day celebration, families gathering under shade trees, children running between adults, the sweet sound of laughter mixing with the crack of watermelons being split open. They had collectively purchased watermelons for a freedom feast that asserted their rightful place in American society, the red flesh as vibrant as their newfound liberty. Bethany Veeney's experience captures this transformation perfectly. In 1867, while visiting Virginia, she encountered a fellow formerly enslaved person working as a freeman. She purchased a watermelon from a local vendor, feeling the weight of it in her arms, the simple joy of being able to buy what she wanted. She invited him to share it, by way of celebrating the free times. They sat together, juice running down their fingers, seeds scattered on the ground. When other Black travelers joined their impromptu gathering, the simple act of eating watermelon together became a powerful statement of community and liberation. However, this visible Black success triggered predictable white resentment. White America watched Black watermelon enterprises with growing alarm. The sight of formerly enslaved people operating successful businesses, accumulating property, and celebrating openly challenged fundamental assumptions about racial hierarchy. The response combined immediate intimidation with long-term cultural manipulation. In 1868, Washington County, Georgia witnessed the lethal consequences of Black economic assertion. A freedman walked down a dusty country road, watermelon balanced on his shoulder, probably thinking about the coins he'd earn at market. He encountered a white man who demanded surrender of the fruit. You can imagine the freedman's confusion, then anger. This was his watermelon, grown on his patch, representing his labor and his freedom. When he refused, asserting his property rights, the white aggressor attacked him with a weapon, ending his life instantly. The watermelon lay split open in the dirt, its red flesh mixing with blood. This wasn't random criminality. The watermelon represented everything white Southerners feared: Black ownership, Black agency, and Black prosperity operating independently of white control. Wallace Fowler's experience in Spartanburg County, South Carolina reveals the systematic nature of this intimidation. In summer 1870, Fowler discovered white youth stealing from his watermelon patch. Rather than confronting them directly, he mentioned the incident to a neighbor. John Thompson, whose son was among the thieves, harbored existing grievances against Fowler. Thompson had lost his tenant farming position when the landowner replaced white workers with Black employees, including Fowler. The accusation of theft from a Black man's property became the final provocation. Months later, on May 1, 1871, disguised attackers appeared at Fowler's home. Charlotte Fowler was jolted awake by the pounding on their door, her husband rising cautiously, little Sophia padding behind him in bare feet. Charlotte later testified to Congress about that terrible night. Masked figures wearing grotesque costumes ended her husband's life, then burned his remains while his family watched in horror. As his granddaughter Sophia witnessed the flames consuming her grandfather, crying, "Oh, Grandma, they have killed my poor grandpappy," Charlotte faced devastating loss. "My old man is dead, and I am left alone." These targeted attacks delivered clear messages about the consequences of asserting Black economic rights. Simultaneously, white Southerners launched sophisticated propaganda campaigns designed to reframe Black watermelon success as evidence of racial inferiority. Beginning around 1866, Southern newspapers began publishing fabricated stories about Black watermelon thieves and supposedly uncontrollable appetites for the fruit. In 1867, multiple publications circulated tales of judges allegedly excusing Black watermelon theft through legal technicalities, stories designed to portray Reconstruction as license for Black criminality. Press coverage deliberately distorted market realities. Charleston newspapers mocked Black vendors as industrious freedmen who lazily pursue their calling, while simultaneously praising white farmers for identical activities. The coverage transformed legitimate business operations into supposed evidence of Black indolence. This propaganda campaign prepared the ground for national stereotype dissemination. By 1869, the stereotype had achieved sufficient development for mass distribution. Frank Leslie's illustrated newspaper published what may have been among the first widely circulated caricatures depicting Black people as watermelon obsessed, accompanied by text claiming excessive fondness characterized Southern Negro eating habits. The timing wasn't coincidental. As Black agricultural success became undeniable, White propagandists needed explanations that preserved racial hierarchy. Rather than acknowledging Black entrepreneurial skills, they attributed watermelon cultivation to supposed laziness. The fruit grew easily. Therefore, anyone succeeding with watermelons must lack proper work ethic. Georgia newspapers escalated the campaign in 1871, with the coverage deliberately associated watermelon possession with criminality, while ridiculing Black presence in public spaces. Political weaponization followed quickly. During the 1880 elections, Democrats fabricated claims that South Carolina's majority Black legislature had wasted taxpayer funds purchasing watermelons for personal consumption. These lies achieved such circulation that they influenced historical textbooks for decades. D.W. Griffith's 1915 film, The Birth of a Nation, crystallized these themes for national audiences. The movie depicted emancipation through scenes of formerly enslaved people abandoning work to gorge themselves on watermelons, reinforcing messages about Black unfitness for citizenship. Mass production amplified the stereotype's reach. Early 20th century consumers could purchase postcards, sheet music, household decorations, and children's toys featuring caricatured Black figures obsessing over watermelons. Popular postcards showed elderly Black men with exaggerated features carrying watermelons while speaking in degraded dialect. The propaganda succeeded beyond its creators' expectations. Many Black Americans internalized the shame, avoiding watermelon consumption in integrated settings to escape ridicule. Generations grew up distancing themselves from foods their ancestors had used to build wealth and celebrate freedom. Historical data has shown Black Americans consuming watermelon roughly proportional to their population percentage. The stereotype created shame around a fruit Black people don't even disproportionately consume. Understanding this history transforms everything. The watermelon stereotype wasn't born from Black eating habits. It was manufactured to hide Black economic achievement. This represents a broader pattern of cultural theft. Whenever Black communities excel at something, white institutions work systematically to reframe that excellence as inferiority. Jazz became primitive noise. Hip-hop became anti-social rebellion. Successful Black cooking traditions became unhealthy soul food. The strategy remains consistent. Take symbols of Black accomplishment, invent degrading explanations, repeat until people forget the original success. Today's Black farmers understand this history and refuse to accept stolen narratives. James Shields drives across America with his distinctive watermelon couch in the back of his pickup truck, pulling into farms where elderly Black growers share stories their grandfathers told them. Food historian Deb Freeman walks through southern fields with soil under her fingernails, collecting seeds from heirloom varieties that carry DNA from African ancestors. California farmer Paul Gaskin tends his fields in the early morning light, selecting watermelons that customers describe as sweet as cotton candy, each fruit a testament to skills passed down through generations. Mississippi's Ben Burkett stands in his patch, explaining the difference between varieties to camera phones, his hands gentle on vines that connect him to ancestors who turned seeds into survival. These farmers represent continuity with ancestors who transformed seeds into survival, survival into success, and success into something so threatening that entire propaganda campaigns had to be created to diminish it. The truth connects us to African agricultural wisdom that survived Middle Passage horrors, enslaved ancestors who built wealth within bondage, and post-emancipation entrepreneurs whose businesses prospered until white intimidation and cultural campaigns undermined them. Every Black person who eats watermelon with knowledge and pride honors that legacy while defeating 150 years of manufactured shame. They tried to make watermelons forbidden because they represented us at our most powerful, independent, successful, and free. Our ancestors proved that even within slavery's constraints, Black ingenuity could create pathways to prosperity. That truth survived. Now you carry it forward. If these hidden histories matter to you, subscribe to Black Stories Untold and share these revelations with others who need this knowledge. Every time we reclaim our stolen narratives, we restore power they tried to take from us. What other stereotypes might be covering up stories of Black excellence? Share your thoughts below, and remember, question everything you've learned about our history. Truth always defeats lies, but only when we're brave enough to seek it.